Hi there, Stampers. Welcome. This is Lisa with Queen Bee Creations here with today's live. We are broadcasting on Facebook and on YouTube at the same time. So, welcome everyone. Um, Today we are making this card here, and from the outside, you're looking at it going, okay, it's a simple card. We get it. Well, inside is where the fun happens. We have this really cute little pop up toolbox that I'm going to show you how to make for the inside. So, welcome everyone. I see everyone's still talking snow. I am sick of snow. We have had more than enough. Hopefully, it's going to stop for a little while so some of it can melt off. But here is our desk, and center myself here so you can see and I know what I'm working on. We're going to play around with the Trusty Tools bundle. This is something from the new mini catalog. If you have ordered from me in the last, say, 6 months, you should have already received one of the mini catalog and the celebration brochure in the mail. And what we're playing with today is in both, because first off, we're playing around with the Trusty Tools bundle. So it's here on page 56 of the mini catalog. And of course, you get all of the stamps, but then there's the dies that go with it. And when you buy them together, you actually save 10% as buying them as a bundle. So that's highly recommended. And when you do that, you're spending $54.75, which means that you get to order something for free out of the celebration brochure. And one of the things we're using is this Trusty Toolbox Designer Series paper that coordinates beautifully with this bundle. Of course, I'm also using some basic shapes. I'm always telling you guys, be sure that you have lots of basic shapes because I use them for everything. This time we're using the deckled circles. So let me set these aside and show you what I have here. The card base is 11 inches by 4 1/4. So we've got 11 this way, 4 1/4, and we're scored at 5 1/2. Then I have this little piece here that is 3 inches by 3 1/2. So what I did is I scored every 1/4 inch. So 3/4, 1 1/2, 2 1/4, and 3. And then I have this 1/2 inch that's going to be our point of contact where we're going to make a little box out of it. So you need these pieces for sure. Then I have my outside layer. My first one is 4 by 5 1/4. And then I have 3 3/4 by 5. On the inside here, because I am just putting below the box, I'm not actually going under the box. If you go under the box, you can use the same size as here. Because I'm just going in front of, this is 4 by 4 1/2 and 3 3/4 by 4 1/4. So those are our layers. Then I went ahead and used the die cuts, and I die cut the toolbox. That's going to be these two parts here. So this one here, and then this rectangle piece here. Then I use the Designer Series paper, as I said. I pulled that out, and quite a few of these dies will actually die cut out pieces from the paper. So, and there's a couple different ones that have tools on them. So some of them can cut out there. I went ahead and I fussy cut quite a few of them because one of the things I'm doing is for this card, I'm using quite a few of these little pieces that fall off the edge. A lot of people look at these and think, oh, they're incomplete. You know, I can't use them for anything. But these little pieces that fall off the edge where you only get half of the tool are perfect for this project. And you can die cut some of them with your dies. You can fussy cut them, and you can use your brother's scan and cut, however you go about getting it. I'm going to use this saw blade on the side of my, so I went ahead from of layer of my designer series paper because I thought, oh, that's perfect placement. If I die cut this out and then I fussy cut it, then I can come in with a little bit larger circle and just cover that up. And so we're going to be able to use this layer and just cover up the hole that we put in it. It's kind of a way to use the most of your designer series paper. Okay, just checking to see if there's any questions yet. No snow in Florida, good thing. I think we'd all get a little worried when Florida starts getting a lot of snow. So thank you to those of you who are entering hashtag Prize Patrol. That is a great way to get entered into the drawing. The computer behind the scenes is collecting everybody's name who enters that correctly. So make sure that you don't have any typos in it. Hashtag Prize Patrol all run together as one word. We can go ahead and start putting some of this together. So, like I said, I usually like to get rid of most of the little loose pieces as I can when I'm starting to create, because I tend to lose things on my desk and you don't want me to do that. So let's see what we can put in place so it doesn't get lost. I'm going to start out with our little rectangle cube here, and I'm using tear and tape because I want something super strong. And I'm putting it together by flattening it. I want this to go together this way so that when the card is closed, it's going to be nice and flat, and then it's going to open up when the card opens. But putting it together and making it seal when it's flat is the best way to do that. Then I'm going to put tear and tape on 2 of the sides that are adjacent, because that's what's going to go into our card base and be our box that's going to prop up the toolbox back here. So I'm going to want to be able to put it in here and then close it. So I'm going to start out by peeling off one side, kind of wedging it into the score line, and then I'm going to peel this one off and close the card. Then when I open it, see how now it's going to pop up and give us that little box. So that's the piece that does the magic. Then we're going to have our pieces that go on the front. We can go ahead and do that. Now, again, remember with the seal, you don't need to use a whole lot. 3/4 of an inch to an inch in each corner is going to be more than enough to hold your card together. Don't use too much of it. That just costs you more money. We're trying to save money, right? Oops. I went and had my shoulder x-rayed yesterday. That's going to be the first step into trying to get the MRI so we can find out what's wrong with it. So it's a little extra sore because, when they take x-rays, they say, well, bend this way and bend that way and hold your arm over here and hold your arm up here. Oh, man, it hurt. But I'm going to be thankful that we have insurance and it's getting taken care of. That's what I'm going to be thankful for. Okay. So then we have our inside piece. And so I'm lining this up at the bottom, making sure I've got my 3 sides even, and then pushing back up. Because it doesn't really matter to me if this is going to be even or not. It turns out it is, but if it wasn't, it's just more important that these 3 sides are even. This piece I'm going to stick down flat. And I'm trying to center it, but yet cover up my piece where I took the saw blade out of there. I'm going to use the saw blade on the front with all the pieces coming out from behind it. And so my black circle is flat and then this is raised. And because it's designer series paper and I have it raised, I wanted a little bit of extra stability underneath it. So that's why I have this circle. It's a 2-inch circle. I use just the punch to punch it out. Whatever, you know, if you have the stylish shapes or you have the scalloped circles, deckled circles, any of those, they all work just as long as it's giving it a little extra stability in the background. And then, like I said, I have all these pieces I had cut out, most of them being just partial pieces because those are going to be easy to have come out from behind. And then I'm going to need a long piece to go along the side. On this one, I did the level. That worked perfectly. I'm wondering if the saw will be right. Yeah, just about. And I've even got a partial saw here where I could butt it up to the edge. I think I like that because it gives me more room in the middle for my sentiment and for my writing. And then you may have seen I put a clear envelope on the inside of my stamp case. That's where I kept all my little extra pieces. So I've made a couple of cards this week with it. So anything extra I had die cut out or cut out, I'm just putting all the loose pieces in here. So next time I go to make a card, they're all together. I used to keep them all in kind of just a little tray on my desk, and it was, I don't know, I didn't find myself digging to go find what I needed. So this just works better for me. Mary says she's going to have surgery on left shoulder tomorrow on a rotator cuff. I'm wondering if that might be what I did to mine. I fell on the ice last February 5th. It's been that long, and I'm still getting sharp shooting pains in my shoulder, and it hurts really bad. But the insurance wants me to go through all the little hoops of, you know, trying for the x-ray and seeing if physical therapy will help and all of that before they'll go to the MRI, which may lead me to surgery. We don't know yet. So I just put a glue dot on either end of my handle here just to make it adhere to the toolbox. Oh, and I probably should do my stamping before I get too far along. So I'm just going to bring in basic black. And I'm going to get this good and inked up and then stamp right in the center of my toolbox. I hold it there for a little bit just to give the ink some time to transfer from the stamp to my project. And then I wanted this one on the inside. Ouch. And I kind of held this in place. I need to glue it down, but it changes where the sentiment is centered since I'm kind of taking a 1/2 inch off the side. And I have one more that's going to go on just a little 1/2 inch strip that will be for the front of our card. Ooh, ouch. And then you could use the banner to flag the end or, you know, any number of things. I decided this time around I was going to keep it simple, and I just did kind of an angle to it. Trying not to make it too pointy. But then I'll be able to set this down here. So about there. you wanted that exactly square, you'd probably do it on the trimmer. That's the way I did it for the first card. I just didn't want to pull that out and put it on my desk when we have all this camera equipment around. No, the crafting's probably not helping my shoulder feel better. I cut a bunch of paper shares too this week. So yeah, but I'm not giving up crafting. That's just not an option. That's the only thing that saves my sanity sometimes. I know we're not supposed to say that it, provides any medical benefit or whatever, for legal purposes, but I have spied quite a few articles online that talk about how crafting is good for your mental well-being. I actually posted one on my Facebook page the other day by reputable magazines. So, I believe it. It's definitely true here. Okay. So this one's going to go inside. And then this one is going to adhere right onto here, but I want to make sure that all of my little tools are tucked into it first so that they can be sandwiched between my little support block and the toolbox. That'll be better for the overall stability of our card. So I have all these little pieces that we can play around with. And like I said, some of them I want to come out from behind this. And I had to be careful when I was making my sample. I had spaced them all evenly around, and it did not look good spaced evenly. So when you do it, you kind of want to be more random. I struggle with that. So I was kind of grouping a few things together, trying to alternate colors and all that good stuff. Okay, just a couple more and we should be good. Okay, now I'm going to put this up on dimensionals. And then I had saved the little tape measure to go in the center. See, isn't that cute? Now all we have is our toolbox. So how many people looked at this card and thought it was going to be complicated? How did I come up with this idea? I was actually looking at a card. I think somebody had the inside. I had done a pop-up in the past where flowers had popped out of something on the inside of a card, and I surf around Pinterest quite a bit, but I have to copy like a pickup layout or a fold or something, but I don't usually copy the entire card. I did copy a card that I'm using for my team meeting exactly, but it's a lady from Germany. And my problem was I was watching it in German and I don't speak German. So I was trying to watch what she was doing and recreate the card. And so it ended up being exact. Well, almost. I did change up a few colors. But I did use the same designer series paper and all the same measurements and everything. Because we don't totally need to reinvent the wheel. We need to be unique because we don't want to just copy everybody's ideas blatantly, although a lot of people don't mind. I don't mind. A lot of people want to be given credit. I often can't remember like where I saw something first because I usually don't create it until I've seen it 3 or 4 times by different demos. So who came up with it originally is often a big mystery to me. So isn't this great that we can use all of these like partial tools and things like, then I can save the ones that are the whole tool to use on another card when I really need to use the whole tool. So we got this one. This is a partial one, but there's not much bitten off. See, it just is missing the edge. Oops. There we go. And I'm just adhering it there. And now it folds up. It's a little thick. May or may not require an extra piece of postage. I'll have to measure it. I used to, with our old trimmer, the way that we decided whether I could go through the mail was to take the plastic part on our trimmer and feed it through here. And if it fed through there in the envelope, that meant that it was thin enough to go with 1 postage stamp. Although I think the trimmer has a different width now. Thank you, Hinda, for telling everybody to do the thumbs up. Thank you so much. Anytime that you comment or share any of those things, it's very helpful to me. Yes, this is a card for a man. I thought this would be great for Father's Day. I did a card on Monday that was more girly colors. I did this in Lost Lagoon and Pool Party. I'm also going to do one in Berry Burst and Bubble Bath because I think that would look really cute in pinks. So, yeah, see, Helene gets it. My daughter's a superintendent for an elevator company. She was actually started out in the office and was being groomed to be their new office manager. And so she was doing payroll and started to see how much the guys in the field were getting paid. And she went, wait a minute, I can make double the money over there. So she started a training program and is now a superintendent making really good money. I'm very proud of her. She bought her own house this year all by herself. So that was today's card, our little pop-up with the internal toolbox. And if you missed Mondays, go back and give that a replay. That's going to be this card here. So thank you to everyone who joined and put in hashtag prize patrol, because that's how you're going to get entered into the drawing. I'm about to spin the wheel and see who our winner is. So please make sure you have that typed in. And then after I spin the wheel and see who our winner is, the winner is going to want to go to my website, queenbeecreations.net. That is where you can surf my website for all kinds of ideas and any plethora of things. There are some freebies you can download from my store. There's some tutorials you can buy. There's a shopping link to go shop Stampin' Up. So you can get your free celebration brochures, products, lots of great stuff over there. But when you win Prize Patrol, you go there, and after the URL in the address bar, you're going to put /Prize Patrol, and then that will take you to a Google form where you will fill out with your address. Oops, I didn't share it. Let's see. It's okay, let me go back. I didn't share the screen. I need to do that, right? Oh, please make sure you're signed on to my newsletter list as well. Every week on Fridays, I try to send out a newsletter, and that usually has all the latest and greatest of what's going on with Stampin' Up, all of their sales. I throw in a tip. There's links to my replays. Lots of good stuff in the newsletter. I'm also doing an in-person retreat. I'm doing online next weekend. And then I'm doing in May, I'm doing an in-person retreat here in Southern Idaho. So you can find out about that in my newsletter and on my page as well. So here is our wheel. Let's give that a spin and see who our winner is. There we go. Helene is our winner. Congratulations, Helene. She's been awfully lucky. Hopefully she will love this card. You know the drill. Go to the website, fill in the claim form, and I will pop it in the mail. I'm actually a couple weeks behind, so I will be sending out a stack of cards tomorrow. So several prize patrols from last week and week before are going to go out. So if you haven't gotten it yet, don't panic. I'm just a little bit behind on things because I was prepping for lots of other things that were happening. So thanks for being here, and I hope to see you back on Thursday, or no, Monday. Today's Thursday. Back on Monday when we play with a new bundle from the new mini catalog. So thank you for joining, and I'll see you Monday. Bye.